Coming up on this episode of The Village Idiom.
I went to a restaurant and a waiter spilled chowder down my trousers. So I said, waiter, there's a soup in my fly.
Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to The Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every week we choose a popular saying and take an admittedly shallow, hopefully comedic, once in a while interesting, and if we're super duper lucky, educational dive into its meaning, its usage, its origins. But mostly we're going to use it to hang our otherwise directionless conversation on. My name is Jurassic Mark.
And I am Skinny. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
It has been so sunny and outlandish here.
Until today.
No. Well, what are you talking about?
Look outside.
Today is like one of the sunniest days we've had.
Oh. I haven't been outside yet.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
I just thought I saw on the weather app that today was a little less sunny.
No, today is gloriously amazing.
Oh, I see.
Which is why I said buenos dias, because it was very...
Is this
kind of had some Spanish.
Talking about the weather of the day this is posted, or
yes,
the day we're recording?
No, this is some posted day.
It's amazing outside.
Yes. It's been so good. And so...
actually, it's been in the 30s.
We feel honored to spend a little time with you in your car.
That's beautiful.
On your headphones today.
Yeah. Or a treadmill or...
whatever you're doing. Don't treadmill today.
I bet you anything right now, if you're listening to this, it is in headphones, though. I don't think anybody's playing this through the phone speaker at a cafe.
But on their car, maybe.
No, headphones.
Headphones only?
I don't think anybody's listening to us except headphones. If I'm wrong, you can reach us.
It's definitely solitude. And it's not like a group thing. But what podcast do you listen to in a group?
Well, I think there are podcasts that I think some teachers use.
Like a therapy thing?
Like, let's say English as a second language, this might be a beneficial podcast. Because if you're just learning English and you're taking everything at its literal value, and then you come across, some idiom that's like, what in the world? What is that? What? Why are they saying that?
Like in terms of like the idiomness of this.
Right. So, for example, let's play today's idiom.
Okay.
Let's say you're learning English as a second language in a different country. Here we go. Listen to this. This is from Mamma Mia.
Oh, ignore him, Tanya. He's all mouth and no trousers.
He's all mouth and no trousers.
All mouth and no trousers.
So you're learning English.
I hadn't even heard of.
No, this is a British idiom, and so let's say, imagine you're learning English for the first time. It's your second language, and you're learning. And somebody says, he's all mouth and no trousers. Like, what are you supposed to do with that?
I don't know. It's layered deep in like just its own mouth and trousers. It sounds like it's a little lascivious.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, because of other similar idioms or similar sounding, something but no something, you even if you're wrong, you would assume this means, he's all that and not that. Like,
I had to look up what it meant.
Oh, I did too. Yeah. It was brought to our attention.
It's new to everybody, and I speak English.
Yeah, but you're not British.
Ish.
You're not British.
Commonwealth.
You're not British-ish.
Ish.
British-ish. You're British-ish.
Or British squared. Depending on how you look at it. Either way, it's all mouth and no trousers.
All mouth and no trousers. So the meaning, it's a colloquial British English phrase. To be all mouth and no trousers means to talk boastfully without any intention of acting on those actions. So you're all talk. You're all talk. You're never going to...
Like all bark and no bite?
Right. Well, that's what I was... It'll come up in Origins too, all bark and no bite. There is an American one, all hat and no cattle.
All hat and no cattle.
Yeah. So
just the show of it, but no substance.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, so when I hear like all mouth and no trousers, it's like you're like talking a little flirtatious maybe, and no trousers.
Well, here's the thing.
No action at the end.
Right, exactly.
And which, just as a by the by, we are like get married first people.
That's right. Get married before the trousers.
No trousers.
So, but here's another thing I thought is there couldn't be a more fitting idiom for a podcast, because this is all talk. You're listening on your headphones. It's all talk, and little do you know,
and no action.
We have no trousers on.
That's the beauty of this.
Nobody has ever seen our trousers,
right?
even if they're watching on YouTube. And you know why?
Why? Because we don't have any.
Because there are no trousers.
Right.
We are All.Mouth.And.No.Trousers.
Yeah, and we're both in special chairs because we have no feet, which is just.
So we're not wearing trousers because we have no legs.
Well, I guess.
If somebody has no legs,
Yeah.
are they still? I mean, they're still getting dressed in the morning, but are you still calling pants?
Well, I guess because no legs because the trouser covers the bum section and the bum's not part of the leg.
Well, trousers are pants.
Well, or I don't know. You could tie him up at the end like Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump.
No, I'm saying you're cut off at the hips. All you got is bum and loins. What do you wear down there?
Trousers.
No, you don't.
Just shorts all the time?
No shorts. You don't need leg at all.
Well, it'd be immodest.
You could have like the bag that your sleeping bag goes in, and just cinch that up.
Like Aladdin, or like the genie from Aladdin, because he's just like that spirally coil of blue.
Yeah, but he's
at
got
the
no
end.
trousers.
Sometimes that's true. But when he's coming out in magic form, he's just a swirl of pants at the bottom. So it's kind of like having no trousers. He's just a swirl. He's like an upside down ice cream
Right,
cone.
but what would there should be an article of clothing and a name for it for somebody who has no legs? Why do
I think
no-legged people have to wear trousers and pants and shorts?
You're passionate about this,
I'm going to come up with an article of clothing. I think I'm going to make millions.
like a little drawstring for the pantless community.
Yeah, it's just going to be, think of a cloth sack with a waist and zipper.
Like a bag of sorts.
Like a bag. That's
Yeah.
why I said, like the bag you put your sleeping bag in. Something like that.
You just pull up on the sides, cinch it off,
Yeah.
tie it up or something at the front.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe
beautiful.
with a rubber.
I think you're going to get rich.
Maybe
from
with a
this.
rubber mat on the bottom so you could bounce along and not wear out your. We need a name for it. But.
Oh, we're going to need a name.
Like, what would Larry the Cucumber wear?
Well, I would be thinking trousers until now.
Right. He doesn't have legs.
He doesn't need. Yeah, absolutely.
So think the body of Larry the Cucumber.
So if you had, what does he need?
What does he need? He needs a sack with a zipper and a button.
Just the sack.
Yeah.
And there's like for girls and guys. I don't know. Is it omni?
It could still be low rise.
Like, so it wouldn't be like girl sack and man sack or something like that, where it's just like different, or would it be something that's universal for everybody?
I mean, it definitely could be universal, but man sacks are different than girl sacks.
I would think so. Usually, that's what I would, in order to create some sort of diversity there.
Anyway,
but is it too much diversity in such a small community?
Why do you say it's such? Why are you belittling that community?
Well, I'm not belittling. I'm just saying it's not a big community.
You're saying it's not worth
How
the time.
many no-leg
invent this
people have you
article.
ever seen? Like ever? Like
A couple.
Bob the tomato, Larry the cucumber. A couple. You've seen zero.
No, I've for sure seen one in
You've
a wheelchair
seen zero.
somewhere.
In a wheelchair somewhere. That's so nondescript.
Actually, I saw an athlete, no legs, where he was like using just his arms and he was riding a skateboard.
Who was that?
I don't know his name. He's a YouTuber. Yeah. He needs a pair of not a pair. He needs a sack.
Right, because it doesn't even need a pair of trousers.
No,
He needs a trowel.
Are they
a
only-
trowel?
a trow. And then when he goes to the bathroom, he drops trow.
Yes. Okay, there's the name right there. He's trowel.
Is that why you say drop trow? Does it come from trousers?
It has to be. Dropping trowel.
Trousers.
Trousers, yeah.
But for Larry the Cucumber, it's just trow.
Because that's all he needs to drop.
Right.
It's just dropping trowel.
Right.
So you don't need zers.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the first 9 minutes of the Village Idiom.
Wow. That's actually sums up just general conversations we have. That's kind of what it's like.
Oh, man, that's great.
So I did come across, speaking of trousery things, I did come across this little gem. I went to a restaurant and a waiter spilled chowder.
Drop chow.
He's dropping chow. It's trow chow.
Drop trow chow. Drop chow chow.
I went to a restaurant and a waiter spilled chowder down my trousers. So I said, waiter, there's a soup in my fly. There you go.
I think trow still needs a fly.
Well, why?
Because I'm assuming even though you don't have legs, that person still...
It assists. It'd be like trying to pull on pants. You saying it's the leg? The leg portion is why you have the zipper.
Oh no! Like let's say
in order to give room to get the
going to the bathroom.
Because it's got to get
you want to just undo the fly to pee.
Well, I guess from there you need the zipper because you're in general the butt is so much
bigger than the waist,
and
right.
so you need that to get it around the butt,
right,
and then zip. So
when we finally get our Village Idiom merch store, for sure, TVI Trow.
It could be a hot seller. Who knows? But anyways, so there it is. And so I did come across this what I think is a fantastic premise with All.Mouth.And.No.Trousers, that it is a leading someone on.
Yes, totally.
That it's this whole process is leading someone on. You're all talk and no finish.
Yeah, you're all hat and no gather. You're less bark is worse than its bite, because that has a threatening meaning, whereas all mouth and no trousers can mean like, oh, it could be,
it's like a tease of sorts.
I can do blah 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 blah. I can do that. I can do this, but you never try it.
So when it came across leading someone
I can talk all day long about inventing trow. I'm never gonna do it.
No, you're all talking no trow.
I'm all mouth and no trousers.
Yeah,
I'm all mouth and no trow.
You're no mo mouth trow. Whoa, I felt like I was Pentecostal there for a second.
Oh mo no tro.
Oh no mo tro. Is this the new thing?
Oh mo no tro.
It's got to be trow.
It's got
to be trow. Yeah, but oh no mo tro, which sounds like Japanese trow. Hey,
it's omo no tro. Omo no tro.
Or
omo no tro.
That's why it sounds Japanese. Okay. So you're leading someone on. Here's 6 signs you're leading someone on.
Interesting.
You're all mouth and no trousers. 6 signs you're leading someone on. You say what you think they want to hear, no matter how you feel.
Is that leading someone on, or is that just being super passive?
6 signs you're leading someone on, according to the experts on the internet.
So there's two reasons to say what somebody else needs to hear, regardless of your feel. Either you're manipulating them, you're like, you want them to think, and then that's leading them on. But then, have you ever met this person where they're like, hey, I saw this thing, and you're like, oh, it's actually this thing. Oh, yeah, it's actually that thing. And they just back away immediately.
Well, this is a classic.
They're scared to have an opinion.
This is classic you, where we'll start in on some conversation, and I'll say something that seems like self-evident, and then you go, what do you mean? And then you draw out an explanation that maybe a person doesn't want to give.
That's classic me.
Yeah, you do that.
That's great.
Yeah.
I can't imagine myself doing that. But
okay, that's classic you to like watch people kind of
flounder
and justify like weird positions. Yeah,
that's probably how I would approach it. Yeah.
It's just funny. Okay, number 2. They've told you what they're looking for, and it doesn't match what you're looking for, but you persist.
They've told you what they're looking for. It doesn't match what you're looking for, but you persist?
Mm-hmm.
Persist in?
Like this right now. This is what you're doing.
What do you mean? No, I actually don't get this one.
So they've told you, I'm after this. And you're like, that's not what I want. But anyways, I'll keep it going.
You persist letting them go.
Yes. You know full well that this is a bust.
Oh, yeah. I'm that. But that's not that I'm leading them on. I'm just too frustrated to correct. They'll figure it out. Did you figure it out yet? All right. No.
Okay, there we go. Okay. Number 3, you're leading someone on. Could be in a variety of ways. You avoid talk of the future. You avoid talk of the future.
We just watched the first 2 Talk to the Futures.
Mm-hmm.
You avoid... How's that leading somebody on?
I don't make the lists. I just report on the lists.
I'm a reporter. I don't see how they're connected to leading someone on.
You avoid talk of the future.
This is leading someone on romantically.
You think it's specific romance?
These are starting to make sense if it's romantically. Like, you don't talk about the future of becoming
Until you
an
said
item.
that, I actually didn't see any of these in romance.
but
But that does make sense.
Yeah, you don't talk about the future because you don't see a future with them. You're just enjoying it for now, but you're not marrying this person.
Okay, number 4. Maybe it is romance. Okay, they see you as an us, and you don't.
Yeah, but
That's
that's
leading
not leading
someone
them
on.
on. That just might be a fact of some relationship or lack thereof.
But then why persist?
Yeah, why continue? So you're leading them on if
on.
you don't break up and you feel that. Yeah.
Right. So this is for all our young 20-somethings who are still figuring it out there. Don't worry. Uncle Vince has got you. Number 5. You're more interested in their body than their mind.
That's leading someone on.
You're leading someone on them. Yeah.
I mean, again, that's just a fact that might exist while leading someone on.
Right.
So this is like how to know if you've been leading someone on?
I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
No, yeah, so it's just lots of, yeah, I don't know, maybe more trousers than mouth.
That one.
I don't know. That's only slightly
More
inappropriate.
trousers than heart.
Maybe heart is a better word than there. Okay, 6. And finally, something just doesn't feel right, but you're ignoring it.
Yeah, see, that's not leading them on. That's leading yourself on.
You think it's just self-deception?
That one is. Yeah, it's like if you're a couple-ish and you're like, say it, read that last one again.
Something just doesn't feel right, but you're ignoring it.
Yeah, you're not addressing the, like, why isn't there a spark here? Why isn't there a click? Why don't these puzzle pieces fit together?
So,
we'll deal with it later.
the problem I have with this, like the whole list, I don't think everyone is an evil mastermind.
Totally.
Like
100%.
they're just living the moment.
That's why they have this list. Like, how to know if you're what? Maybe I am leading her on because I have 5 of these 6 things, and so you're not a mastermind. You don't even know you're doing it.
I don't think people think about things like with that kind of depth.
Right.
They're just kind of like slogging through a day and whatever, and as opportunities or whatever fall their way, then maybe I pursue that, maybe not.
Right.
It's not like intended always to be this crazy manipulative. All mouth and no trousers. You're just like, I don't know, you're just talking. You know, you're not thinking like 10 steps into the future.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my challenge with the list. Anyways. Yeah.
Anyway, nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that.
Well, I try and do my part.
It's good.
Thanks.
It's always good. Gets conversations going and
that's what we're about, really.
And that's the episode, ladies and gentlemen.
It's just a conversation starter.
Yeah.
So if you're out there at the water cooler today and you're looking to start some conversation with not the HR person, then yeah, use any of these. Hey, how do you feel about leading someone on? What do you think about these? See what happens there at the office.
What are your thoughts on leading people on? I'm asking for a friend.
That'll go over great. In fact, commit it to paper, like in an email form or something like that.
Reply all.
Well, that's good. We should probably actually really find out where this thing actually comes from.
You want to take a little dip into the pool?
I said some words. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind. Origin.
At first, I'm gonna keep in time, and then I'm like, nope, I'm going off beat.
Skinny is currently referring to the visual antics during that song.
And then did you hear my neck?
See...
Did you hear my neck crack?
No, actually.
Yeah. It's like
I heard you laugh. I didn't know why.
And he's paralyzed. Good episode, everyone.
But again, if that is how you were paralyzed, wouldn't you want it to happen on film?
And I would ditch. I would go for trowel right away. Step 1, easy. Ditch pants. Just get us the satchel. Yep.
A satchel.
Trowel, as we would call them.
Well, the original form of this phrase is to be all mouth and trousers. The word no is not in the original form of this idiom.
What?
All mouth and trousers. So, mouth and trousers, most likely in its origin, probably denoted verbal and sexual arrogance, respectively. So, they were loud, like Mouth and Trousers. It's their loud bravado and their lady killer. They're all Mouth. I was gonna say
it sounds like a gigolo duty kind of thing. And duty, I mean like a turd. Like
totally. Yeah. So Mouth and Trousers. He's all Mouth and Trousers. He's all talk and sex. That's all that guy is. He's a chachi. He's a whatever. So that's the original.
Is it a Chad now or something?
Yeah, nobody knows.
Does anyone who knows who
Chachi is?
It's a Chachi.
Yeah.
Like Joni loves Chachi.
So yeah, I thought that was interesting, even though this idiom is new to me.
Hello, 1960s? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll cut that out. Thanks.
Chachi was set in the 50s, aired in the 80s.
Sorry.
Come on. Or maybe 70s, actually. Happy Days?
I don't know. Continue.
So to be all Mouth and Trousers was to be all talk and sexual arrogance. Just like locker room talk, loud guy talking about everything. He was considered to be all Mouth and Trousers. So its first recording of that version that I could dig up is in the following dialogue from Two for the River, which is Hamish Hamilton, London, 1961, by the British novelist and essayist Leslie Poles Hartley. I always love the three-name people. That's probably what we should have done. Like, we've really come a long way away from, like, you hear Leslie Poles Hartley. That's how it used to be in 1895.
Mark Douglas Batten.
Now, though, people are like, Trickster 327. It's like we've gone so far from these. All right, anyway. Leslie Poles Hartley, 1895 to 1972. This is the quote. It's not a bad life. Most men are all Mouth and Trousers. Well, I like the trousers best, if you see what I mean. You mean without the trousers? Yes, I suppose I do. That's a little 1961 Leslie Poles Hartley little innuendos set in there, but most men are all Mouth and Trousers. So the earliest instance that I found in the form of a negative thing, like where the word no.
Oh, that first one was positive. Okay.
Well, I mean the word no is a negative determiner. It's from the column Keith Waterhouse. Keith Waterhouse on Thursday is titled that day "The Young Pretender" in the Daily Mirror in London in 1974. So it's not that old, but this is the one I dug up. When I heard the news from Cyprus, the years rolled back and I was standing at the bar of the Ledra Palace Hotel, Nicosia, in the mid-1950s. When Chachi existed. That part wasn't in the quote. It was a regular evening session when journalists met to compare notes, and as usual, there was a slightly preposterous youth on the fringe of the group. He was a talkative but flippant young man, much given to sniggering. And if you'd told me then that he would be the next president but one of Cyprus, I would have firmly removed the glass from your hand and advised you to go away and sleep it off. Not that young Nico Sampson wasn't suspected, along with every other waiter and taxi driver, of being up to his ears in Ioka activities. I'm lost so far. I'm sure this all means something. It got noticed in time that he was always just that fraction ahead of everybody else with news of another killing on Murder Mile. No one was very surprised when the security men finally tapped him on the shoulder. But the consensus view of the older hands was that politically, he was all mouth and no trousers. It was a view I quickly came to share myself. So this only goes back to the 70s as far as in print. All mouth and no trousers.
That's one of the earlier ones.
Later ones.
I mean that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, the use of the negative determiner, no, since you're going to say, we're so positive, might have arisen from what we already said, other idioms that have similar thing, like all style and no substance, all talk and no action, all hat and no cattle, all this and no that. And so most likely it just naturally became the more prominent one. But the all mouth and no trousers is actually quite common now. We just played a clip from Mamma Mia, a fairly recent movie, and it was in that. So yeah, it's what else can we say about that? I mean, we kind of hinted at this. The second variant, all mouth and no trousers, is almost always used. Very few people have even heard of the earlier form. In fact, anybody outside of the UK probably hasn't heard of either form. So it's not rare, but it's rare outside of the UK.
Yeah. Definitely hadn't heard it before, and I don't know if it's one I'm going to attempt to drop into the vernacular here.
No, I think it has. I think its original meaning, all mouth and trousers, has that sexual he's all talk and
this is
locker room.
This isn't a good for dudes idiom.
Yeah, exactly.
This is like a bad one.
So yeah, it leans towards, what was the idiom where we talked about we had to give a warning at the beginning because some of the language, mild language, but just to warn people. But it had to do with
it was the
P proud.
Yeah,
P proud. Well, that's the G-rated version. P proud. It's the same kind of thing. He's got a lot to talk about, not a lot beneath the belt.
There you go.
Compensating for something. He's so loud.
Napoleon complex.
He's so loud because he's compensating for the lack of trousers or activity. Anyway, yeah, all mouth and no trousers. Thank you to our UK listeners who suggested that one. It was interesting for me.
Well, it's good. I'm glad. I'm glad it was interesting for one person. That's good. It's nice to have things.
And I'm the one person.
You got to whittle a joke down to 6 people. It's Daniel Tosh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
he's all Tosh and no Daniel.
It's probably heading into that time. 26 minutes. Man, we're going to have to...
Riddling is a game we like to play. It takes 2-part trivia-based question, 2-part overlapping answer, overlapping by syllable, sound, word, or word. So, for example, last week, our idiom was, you can say that again, you can say that again, and we left you with this one. Bodybuilder / actor Johnson is Fatboy Slim's song that repeats right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Bodybuilder actor Johnson is Fatboy Slim's song that repeats right about now,
I know
the
the
Funk
song.
Soul Brother. Do you know what it's called?
No.
Do you remember our idiom from last week that I
No.
just reminded you of?
No.
Seconds ago?
No.
You can say that again. Which is kind of irrelevant.
Great.
Because it's just that
Still don't
song
know.
is repetitive. So, bodybuilder / actor Johnson. I'm leading you on here.
I don't know. I actually don't know. I couldn't think of the bodybuilder.
Dwayne The Rock.
Oh, my goodness. That's sad.
And that song is called The Rockefeller Skank.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's
you stumped me.
Dwayne The Rockefeller Skank. That's how you play.
You
for
stumped
Riddling.
me hard on that one. Well, I've got a couple prepared.
I got a couple prepared.
These should hopefully be a little easier. But maybe not. But maybe.
Right about now.
This Canadian sketch troupe just talks without action.
That's a good one. Say it again.
This Canadian sketch comedy troupe just talks without action.
That would be Kids in the All.Mouth.And.No.Trousers.
There you go.
That's how you play it.
That's a good one.
Let me give you one.
Okay.
This band sings All-Star and is all this.
Well, Smash Mouth and all this.
Smash Mouth. Yeah.
No trousers is the thing.
Smash Mouth and No Trousers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was looking for the all mouth part.
Well, that's why I put all in the clue.
Oh,
all
I see.
This.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Smash Mouth for sure. Okay. Let's Make a Deal host is all talk without action.
Wow. And you're dating me for bringing up Chachi?
Well, it's a common it's a problem. Everybody knows about this. It's very modern. Very modern. Let's Make a Deal host. I think he died 8 years ago at 96.
If you want to make it modern, it's Wayne Brady hosts Let's Make a Deal now.
Does he?
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
This is what you get for
So the correct answer would be Monty All.Mouth.And.No.Trousers.
Monty All.Mouth and No Trousers. Are you serious? Wayne Brady has a show?
Let's Make a Deal. Same show, same dressed up like costumes. I don't want what's under this box.
I just need to spend more of my life watching television. Said no one ever.
Wayne Brady replaced Monty Hall.
Well, give us one more. We'll send the Village Idiom children out with this one after
After what?
or before. You're going to make sure you reach out to us so that we can know what you're thinking and your thinker. So
how do they get a hold
we
of
want to
us?
make sure that you're just not mouth and no trousers. You want to have trousers on this one by reaching out to us. Reach out to us with your trousers.
What if you're all trousers and no mouth? What would that mean?
You'd be very hungry. I don't know.
I think that was the 90s when everybody wore those huge baggy pants.
Like Urkel? Like you're just all trousers and no body?
Like Crisscross will make you. Huge baggy pants. They're all trousers and terrible songs. So they're all trousers and no mouth. How do you
Reach
get
out
hold
to
of
us on Instagram at the.village.idiom or email us to thevillageidiompodcast@gmail.com, or whether it's the Facebooks, the YouTubes, or the X at 3 Minutes Gone.
We actually don't have an X account.
I'm hoping.
Actually, do we?
I think it transfers over.
Okay. No, I mean Twitter even.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
I'm not checking it, are you?
All the time.
All right. Well, you're not
Basically
all
live
now.
on it.
All right, here's the last one. The Three Musketeers mantra are talking boastfully with no intention of acting. Oh. The Three Musketeers mantra are talking boastfully with no intention of acting.
That's a good one.
Did I get?
And that is 3 Minutes Gone.
In a nutshell.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed yourself a little bit today. Get back to doing whatever you're doing. Stop taking a break, a huge break for the podcast.
Seriously.
Yeah, keep working, paying them bills. I'm Skinny.
I'm Jurassic Park.
And these are the Village Idioms.
None of your plans ever eventuate.
That's 3 minutes gone.